Hi, good evening. Happy Monday to you. I hope you had a great Monday, if there is such a thing. My name is Tony, and tonight we're going to make some Owie sticks. So I'm going to wait a little bit. I tried to come on a couple of minutes early just so that my wingman can invite and copy the link over to the Clean Living site. But tonight we're going to make Owie sticks. So we'll give it a few minutes and then we'll go ahead and get started. So did anybody do anything fun this weekend? I spent it doing yard work, which is always fun. House cleaning, that's always fun too. Upcoming weekend, we're taking we have a 19-foot chaparral boat, and we're going to take it. We're in Florida, so we're going to Lake Toho, taking it to Lake Wales, which is about a 2.5-hour cruise. It's kind of fun. We're going to Florida's version of a dude ranch, so that's kind of exciting. We've been there. This will be, I think, our third time going. The first time we went, I discovered glamping. So glamping is my version. At my age, I used to love camping, and I still do love camping. Nothing better than being in the woods with a fire and all of that stuff. But these are what I'd call like a military-sized tent. There's a queen-size blow-up mattress in it with sheets. There's a little portable air conditioner in it, a little sofa or a couple of chairs, a front porch with 2 rocking chairs on it. And it's all made of, it's a tent, but it's got wood structure on the inside. It's got screening, so you sit out on your front porch in the morning and have your coffee. And the place we go, they actually bring you coffee and muffins if you glamp. So yeah, that's a good way of glamping. That's what we're doing this weekend, so I'm excited about that. We're going to the River Ranch, it's called, here in, I want to say it's in Lake Wales, Florida. So again, we'll give it a couple more minutes and then we will get started. We are making Owie sticks tonight. We're getting toward the end of our challenge group, so we'll be on live a few times doing some live events. Thursday night, Luann is going to go live for us and create a recipe that she uses with her, I believe, with her grandchildren. So that'll be fun. If you got kiddos, you might want to watch that. It should be fun. So again, we're just kind of waiting just to see a few more people come on, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So I was actually on time tonight. That's always good and exciting. I tried to be, but it was an easy night. So we had leftover pasta. So I popped it in a glass bowl into a microwave, and yep, hubby has dinner. So that's my idea, cooking dinner tonight. I love those nights. Anybody else have any cool plans or good plans for Labor Day weekend? Anything fun? See, here in Florida, we look forward to this time of year. So now we're going into fall, and we actually don't hit fall until October, November, sometimes December, but it cools down nice. You can leave your windows open. You don't have to have the air conditioning on, get that fresh air. We do get a little chilly in January, February, but not chilly in comparison to, say, Luann. You know, when we get chilly, we get into the 50s. And don't laugh, I'm originally from upstate New York, but I've gotten quite used to Florida. So if it's in the 50s in the morning, I'll go out and start my car and let it warm up before I pull out of the driveway. So, I look forward to this time of year. But all my friends up north, as I'm saying, yay, we're getting into fall. Yeah, they're not quite as excited as I am. So. So everybody's being quiet tonight. Hi, Noza, if I'm saying that properly. Hi, Patricia and Luann. You guys have anything fun planned for the holiday weekend coming up? Oh, so quiet. So you'll see on my stove, I think you can see in the background a little bit, I do have a pan of boiling water. For anybody who's watched me before, we made lip balm this month. We also made headache sticks this month, and all the recipes can be found in the files folder on in the Clean Living group. But you know that, you know, you can use a double boiler. I don't use a double boiler. I just use my pan. It's got boiling water in it. I use an old can. I save my cans, and this is what I make my I melt the butters and stuff in. It creates my double boiler. I put my butters in the can. I put it in the pan, and I just let it melt. So the good thing about that is when you're done, you're using this, and then you're using a dropper to be able to take the oil out and put it into the empty lip balm containers. But when you're done, you simply take this inside the can, throw it away, cleanup's easy. If you try using pans, then you got to have to get because the beeswax will get in if it starts to harden. It's kind of hard to get off, but again, this is simple. And these things are, I don't know, a penny a piece, a couple pennies a piece. So take these out. When you're done, throw them away. Life is good. No cleanup work. So tonight, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Oh, you're relaxing this weekend. Nice. That's nice. Relaxing is always good. I plan on doing that as well. Have a few cocktails. It'll be in the woods, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun after the cruise. So tonight, what we are making is we're making Owie Sticks. So, you know, your little ones or your husband who tends to like to hurt himself on a regular basis gets a small cut. You want to go get that magic yellow tube to put on it so you don't get infected, or the spray bottle to again spray on it so you don't get infected. Well, the idea of the Owie Stick is it does the same thing without all the chemicals. So, and it's a lot less expensive. So, hey Kelly, what we need, what I use is an old can, a dropper, which, no kidding, I think you buy these on Amazon for $100 for $5, something like that. So, oh, there you go, on a curling iron burn. Yep, exactly. So, empty aluminum can, dropper, lip balm tubes, which again you can buy them by, I get them at 100 bags. You can get them on Amazon. They were on the supply list for this month's challenge group. You'll need lavender, so Young Living lavender essential oil. Of course, you'll need Thieves essential oil, and you will need tea tree essential oil. So the recipe that I have that I'm going to make tonight, and that I will post out to the group later, makes between 25 and 30 tubes. So if you need to cut it down to make less tubes, you can, or you just simply make them, give them out to your mom friends. They're great teacher's gifts. I mean, who doesn't need an Owie Stick in their purse, right? Or diaper bag, or husband's car, or again, so it makes 25 to 30 tubes. And yeah, so that's it. So there is an oil called Owie, same type of thing from Young Living. I have it, and it is usable. But you know, for me to pop that in my purse, or my daughter to stick it in a diaper bag, you know, it is an oil. So I've taken that and I've made the Owie Stick, which is the same consistency of a lip balm. And you just make it and you slide it in your purse, and it's no bigger. It's the chapstick size, so you can see that. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. Those are the supplies you're going to need. You need a can with a dropper. You need a bowl just to measure your butters with, a scale. A simple kitchen scale will work. Whatever you use to measure your portions on, if you do that. If you don't have that, then each of the ounces that I'm going to give you tonight is actually pretty close to about 4 tablespoons each. So if you don't have a scale, just use 4 tablespoons of each of the butters. So you have a dish to mix the butters in. You have a wooden stirrer or anything that you want to, so you can mix the oils into the beeswax. Again, these are just simply the skewers that you'd use for to cook with, but I just use them and then I just wipe them off and put it in my butter creation box, I guess you want to call that. So again, you got a stirrer, you got a bowl, you got a scale, or just use the tablespoon version as I mentioned. You have a can, you have a dropper, and of course you have the tubes to put it in. So we're going to go ahead and get started before my water boils away. The scale I have, I make a lot of soaps and body butter, so I use the scale a lot. I got it on Amazon in case you're curious. Again, I think I put it out to the site, but I want to say it was about $54. And the reason I buy it and I use it so much is because it's got the tear weight on it. I really like that. But if you're not making a lot of them, then you know it's may or may not be worth your time. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put 1.25 ounces of beeswax. So we're going to start with beeswax because that takes the longest to melt. Sorry for stepping out of the video because I have everything kind of set all over the place. So let's talk about beeswax for a minute. The first time I bought beeswax, I bought it in a chunk. It will be the last time I buy it in a chunk because you basically need carving tools to break it off. So I've learned, I buy this, get it on Amazon. It comes in pellets. Be careful on your beeswax because some of it you can get actually has a scent to it. This does not have a scent to it. It's got a light scent to it. It doesn't smell like overly terrible or overly strong, but some of them, from what I understand, have a very deep scent, and you really don't want that in your lip balm or actually any of your products because it'll just take away from it. So again, beeswax, and we're going to put in 1.25 ounces. And it's amazing, you'll see when we get done, bear with me one second, I am blonde and I'm trying to do more than one thing at a time, that's always good. So, when this can is full, after it melts, you're going to have about this much, maybe that much liquid in it. And as I said, that makes 25 to 30 tubes of product. So think about that for a minute. How much you spend on that yellow tube to put on cuts or even lip balm or headache stick. Think about how much you spend on that. So 1.25 ounces of of beeswax. We're going to start that first. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my can. Everything else melts up pretty quickly. The beeswax takes a little bit, so I like to get that started first while we measure the rest of it. Okay, beeswax in, and I'm gonna turn this just a little bit so you can see the stove a little bit better. You'll see the pan. I'm gonna go ahead and put it's boiling water. I'm just gonna put the can in it now. It's not gonna be weighted enough for it to sink, but if there's not enough water, that's gonna tip the can over. So it's in, it will start to melt as we continue to measure the rest of the ingredients. So again, that was 1.25 ounces or 4 tablespoons of beeswax pellets. The next is 2.3 ounces of shea butter. So again, I buy my shea butter in a brick. Now shea butter is a little bit more pliable, so it's easier. You can buy this in a brick and you can just kind of cut it off. I do have a little jar of it that I'm trying to use up before I jump into this, so we're going to use this shea butter tonight. And we are going to put 2.3 ounces of shea butter in. I love shea butter. I spend too much time in the sun. I also make an after sun spray, but you know, let's face it, sometimes you come home, you just dip into the shea butter and yeah, it's nice. So shea butter, we're putting 2.3 ounces or 4 tablespoons. Okay, close. There you go, spot on, 2.3 ounces. Now, shea butter is the second that takes the longest to melt, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in the can that's already in the boiling water, so bear with me a sec. We'll also weigh it down nicely so the can's not floating around the boiling water. And see, the beeswax still is not melted. It's starting to, but it's still not melted. Okay? So next, we are going to put in coconut oil. So I buy my coconut oil from Essentials Depot. I buy a lot of coconut oil because I use it in my soaping. It's also a lot less expensive than buying the small ones that you buy at Publix or Trader Joe's. But again, if you're not making a lot of soap, you can simply just go buy a small thing of unrefined coconut oil, organic unrefined coconut oil, at the grocery store or anywhere like that. So with coconut oil, we're going to put in 2.25 ounces of coconut oil. That is a very quick melt ratio, so it's usually the last thing I add because let everything else start to work. So again, 2.25 ounces of coconut oil. Yeah, we went a little overboard there. Okay, 2.25 ounces of coconut oil. And give me 1 second, I'm going to go grab a paper towel. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look and see how we're doing as far as our butter's melting. Okay, good. The beeswax is melted and the shea butter is coming right along. We're going to go ahead and add the coconut oil. Actually, I don't know why I grabbed that. We're going to let that melt for a second. So in the meantime, we're going to get some stuff set up and cleared out of the way. We no longer need the scale. We're done with that. So we'll push that on the side. And we will start to get our tubes ready. Now, you do not put your essential oil in while it's on the stove. You don't want to do that because it's essential oil. You don't want to heat it. Takes away some of the properties of it, number one, and number two, the last thing you want it to do is evaporate in the air. So I'll remove the pan from the stove and I'll put it over here, and then we'll go ahead and add the oil to that. So we're going to take out our tubes, open the tubes. Normally when I buy these two, they come in two separate bags, tube and then tops. For some reason, the last time I bought them, they actually are a little thicker or a little bit bigger than I normally get, so it's kind of nice, but they come with the tops on, so I take the tops off. So we'll go ahead and get that ready. And remember, 25 to 30 of them is what that recipe that I'm making. So we'll go over that one more time just so you have it. I will post it later out to the site, but it's 1.25 ounces of beeswax, 2.3 ounces of shea butter, and 2.25 ounces of coconut oil. You just melt it. When it's melted, take it off the heat, add your essential oil, stir, and then start using the dropper to fill your containers. And we'll do a little bit of that. I won't keep you on the line long enough for me to fill 30 of them, but there are some tricks I've learned along the way, like leave it in the boiling water. Bring the whole pan over here because it keeps it warmer longer, which gives you more time to fill the tubes. before it starts to solidify. And you'll start to see when it's very clear. And once it starts to, not clear, but yeah, clear. When it starts to solidify, it'll get just a little bit of a shade to it. So it comes out like a yellow, clear yellow, but then it'll start to get a shade in it, and that means it's starting to solidify, or it's starting to thicken up. And it'll get to a point, unless you leave it in the pan, in the can, that it will be too hard for you to it won't come up in the dropper. Now you can put it back out to the stove and go ahead and remelt it, but that's an extra step, and I'm kind of lazy, so I'm trying not to do that. So that's one of my tricks that I've learned along the way. I got 15 so far. So, again, 1.25 ounces of beeswax, 2.3 ounces of shea butter, and 2.25 ounces of coconut oil. It'll make 25 to 30 tubes. Great to give away to your mom friends, or to those who have husbands that like to hurt themselves, or wives that like to hurt themselves. Teachers' gifts. Great, great idea. Stocking stuffers. Everybody needs an Owie Stick. Everybody needs a lip balm, and everybody needs a headache stick, which we've made this month as well. So we're going to go ahead and stop there. I'm going to double check the stove and see how it's doing. All right, and we are melted. So we'll kill the heat. Grab some oven mitts. The pan, and so because the water's warm, it'll keep it longer, keep it warm longer. Except you can't steam up your glasses and try to read the Facebook. So Rainey says that her husband would laugh his butt off if I came home with that bucket. Yeah, well, so the first time my husband saw it, I used to order it, you know, in the smaller containers, and then I realized I was paying so much money because I use so much of that to make soap. And so I started searching for it and talking to Essentials Depot, and you know, they're a green organization, it's certified organic and all of that. And I noticed, I saw the price differences, and when it started showing up at the front door, because of course they drop it off at the front door, the UPS guy leaves it at the front door. Rob comes home and he's carrying this bucket in, and I've got that, I've got palm oil, and one more. Think of the third one, but anyways, Rob this looks like an episode of Breaking Bad. If you start getting this in a 55-gallon drum, and they do sell it in 55 gallons too as well, they hand deliver it on a forklift to your house. So yeah, he says it looks like an episode out of Breaking Bad, and he did do a bit of laughing, took lots of pictures, put it on Facebook, and told his entire family that it was an episode of Breaking Bad. So our oil is ready. And my apologies if I've missed any questions along the way. The kitchen is about 7 years old. We did do a complete redo of the kitchen, and no, we haven't sold the house yet. We've had a lot of interest in it. In fact, we had a couple today that came through for their second time. So we're hopeful. Sad, but hopeful. So, and if I missed any questions along the way, when we get off of this, I will go back and answer all questions that I missed along the way. So, I'm not quite so great at watching the phone and talking and doing live stuff. So, anyways, leave the can in the water, keeps it warm longer. Now we're going to add our essential oils. We're going to put 20 drops of Thieves. So 20 drops of Thieves goes into this. Okay, 20 drops of Thieves. Put tea tree, 30 drops of tea tree. And anybody who watches any of my videos, you know, when I'm counting my drops, I don't talk. So I'm not being rude. I don't talk. 2 things at one time. So 30 drops of tea tree. Okay, so we got 30 drops of tea tree. I don't know if you can hear it, but my area is going in the background. She sits right on my kitchen counter. So at night when I come home, that's the first thing I do. Put my purse down, switch into my tank top and my sweatpants, turn the area on, and then I cook dinner. So yeah, I love my area. Tonight we are, well, I've had it in this weekend, but I have cypress, Idaho blue spruce, and lime. And the lime adds the freshness to it, but it feels like, you know, in that mountain air when you walk out your door and it's nice, crisp and cool, and you smell pine in the, well, here in Florida, we don't have that. So it's a beautiful scent. I love it. So that's what I have in the diffuser. That's what's in the area. So, all right, we're on to lavender, and we are putting in 30 drops of lavender. So just to go over that one more time, we have 30 drops of lavender, tea tree, we have 30 drops of tea tree, and we have 20 drops of Thieves. That gives you the antiseptic antibacterial portion. So you put it on your little cut or your cut or scrape in lieu of using the chemically based formula. So again, let's mix it. So we are ready to start putting it in the tubes. Now, just to give you an example, I'll try to measure this quickly. In the can, if you can see that, so about 2 inches, that's what's in the can and completely melted. And I'll try to show that to you. I wasn't very successful last time I tried to do this, so bear with me. Try not to drop my phone into the can, which is always good. Yeah, that's not going to work. Let me try it a different way. If you can see that, it's clear. You'll see it come up in the tube in a minute. So it's all mixed. And we're looking for my dropper, and this part's easy. So what I do when I'm filling the tubes is I fill them pretty much all the way up. You see how it's clear? The longer you go, the less clear it becomes. So the more it starts to get a opaqueness to it, that means the oils are starting to solidify. So you fill it up and you go through. Now once I get through 30 of them, I go back, because as it's sitting here, literally as it's sitting here, it will start to solidify because it's no longer on heat. So I will wait a few minutes, which I'll stay online long enough with you to show you that. So this is called an Owie Stick. It does replace the chemically based version of that yellow tube stuff or the spray-on stuff for small scrapes, small cuts. You can use it on insect bites as well. And as Tricia said earlier, her mom used it on a curling iron burn. Great teacher's gifts, great stocking stuffers, Christmas gifts. And this month we have made the Owie Stick, we have made a headache stick, and we have made lip balm. So there's 3 little gifts right there for people, teachers, kids, other moms. So you see it goes pretty quickly. You'll see it's staying clear. Now, if you remember, if you had watched the, when I did the headache stick, I did not leave it in the pan. And I know that. I forgot. I took the can out. And we made it through the 30. But as we were getting to the end of the 30, it was starting to get very, very thick. So I could no longer squeeze it out into the dropper. So when I got off live, I remelted and then I reused it. Don't like to do that though because now there's already essential oil in it. So if you just leave it in the pan, the water in the pan will keep it warm long enough for you to fill. Move the oils out of the way so I don't spill anything. And we'll get through the 30. So what I usually do, as again, I'm not even halfway through yet, but once it starts to solidify, well, let's give it a few more minutes. Let's talk a little bit. So I will plan on, we're getting into fall, which is my favorite season. So I've shared all kinds of diffusing recipes for fall scents. Again, we live in Florida, so we need to create some of those scents that some people just walk out their back door and achieve. But I've shared, I think, 6 different diffuser recipes for fall scents. I will be on vacation next week, but when I come back, I am going to be making, I have an Etsy shop, so I sell soaps and body butters and scrubs and Thieves, all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to be making my pumpkin swirl soap. I make a pumpkin swirl soap. I make a brown sugar, and it's the only one I make, the brown sugar pumpkin spice scrub, and a pumpkin spice body butter that matches. So I'm thinking about going live and dropping, and we can make soap together. That's going to probably take about 45 minutes to an hour, but we're going to make 2 batches of it because I go through a lot of it. And then also we'll make some, possibly some brown sugar pumpkin scrub, which is really nice. So keep an eye out for that. It won't be next week, probably the week after. I'm going to have to get moving because we're getting close, and it's a pretty popular item. So, and again, that's another great gift. You just need some different oils, as well as I have organic pumpkin that I buy, and we use that in the soap as well. So that's kind of fun. All right. Okay, so now what I do is I go back. Some more drops on the top, so it's filled all the way to the top, because for some reason as it starts to cool it gets smaller in the tube, so you want to fill the tube all the way to the top. So let me catch up real quick so I don't get any of these hardening on me. And then we'll go over the recipe one more time so everybody has it. Okay, so depending on what group you're in, I post my recipes. I'll post the recipe right out to on the timeline. So I'll put a picture of some of these tubes, and then I'll put the recipe right under it in the timeline. And then I put them under files in my group so that people can refer back to them at a later time. But I will post it. If you give me about 20 minutes when we end the live, I have to finish this up real quick, obviously, because this oil is going to get hard on me. And once that's complete, then I will post the actual recipe out on the dropping site with a picture of some tubes, something to kind of catch your attention. If you can't find it, then just tag me in a post. My name is Tony, and I would be happy to share it with you or point you to it on the site, but it'll be on the dropping page. Okay. So I'm going to make 30 gifts. I'll show you some of these now. I just put some stuff on top of it. Just starting to get hardened. So let's give that a minute and we'll go over the recipe again so that everybody has it. First thing you need is a pan with some boiling water, an aluminum can for easy cleanup, one of these little droppers, or anything that you can use to get it from the can into the lip balm tube. Lip Balm Tubes, which you can buy them empty on Amazon. You'll need 1.25 ounces of beeswax, 2.3 ounces of shea butter, and 2.25 ounces of coconut oil, or 4 tablespoons of each, give or take a little bit. You will need lavender essential oil, 30 drops of lavender essential oil. You will need 20 drops of Thieves essential oil. And you will need 30 drops of tea tree. So those three combined create the antibacterial antiseptic that you put on when you get a small scratch, a scrape, or a curling iron burn. And then I'll show you, here's one that's starting to harden. You can see it now. See, it's no longer clear. It's starting to get that opaque look to it, so it's getting hard. So, as I said, it makes 25 to 30 tubes of Owie Stick. I will post the recipe out on the dropping site soon. If you have any questions, again, I'll go back through all the questions that were in here and answer them. Give me 20 to 30 minutes just so I can finish up what I'm doing. And then I'll post the recipe and I'll answer any questions that you might have regarding making the Owie Stick. So I appreciate you taking your time out on a Monday night to spend it with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Don't forget to watch the Pumpkin Swirl Soap Making by Tony in the dropping site. Have a great night, guys.